Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to NerdTube. And it's time to talk about the Tulsa King, episode 3. Caprice, there's a name I haven't heard for ages. She was so fucking hot back in the
Oh my
day.
God, she was hot.
Yes, she was. I'm here with, I'm about to call you Cousin Cheeto. I'm here with Ginger Greek, and he's also joined the Tulsa King bandwagon. How you doing, mate?
Very well.
And it seems to me that you're a big fan of this show as well.
Very much so. Yes, I am always, which ironic because I've never watched The Sopranos, but again, that was during the time it came out. I just didn't have the time, but I'm always a big sucker for a good old gangster
Mm.
film or show.
Yeah, for me, before we start talking about this, I just want to say that, like, for instance, Goodfellas, it's in my top 5 of like favorite films of all time. You know, what I mean, it's something I just can just go back to again and again and again. It's just so fucking good. Now, obviously, this is not in the same vein as Goodfellas, but there's always those certain elements and stuff. And I love good crime drama shows where you follow the antagonist around. You know, or maybe an antagonist with a heart of gold in in case Stallone's character of Manfredi. But uh, what have you liked about Tulsa King so far, Ginger?
Um, okay, just off the bat, Stallone's performance. This is just his best performance since probably Copland. There might be another one in between there, but his comedic timing is spot on. The way he carries himself like old school mafia, like every time he just gets out and all these subtle little things that he does, like flicking his collar, his rings, all this kind of stuff. I just it's brilliant. The comedy is on par, and it does feel like a proper old school uh, mafia show, but obviously brought into the 2020s, and it's just fun to watch. It's just a really well made show, solid so far. Bit tropey, but it's the good kind of tropes.
Yeah, it is actually a lot funnier than I would anticipate it to be. You know, but I like it for that for a start. I like this sort of man out of time element it has.
Hmm.
As well as fish out of water because he's 25 years in jail, so a lot of things have passed him by, like the internet, and he's also in a totally different part of the world as well, and having to adjust to all these different cultures and ideologies and stuff like that, and not even knowing what's legal and what's not anymore. And it's very amusing, you know.
Like
Yeah,
taking over
yeah.
the marijuana store that's perfectly legal to run. And it's just like, yeah, I'll protect you from the law. It's like, why do I need protecting from the law? I'm legal and all this kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Just that interaction, just I was in fits of laughter because it really is just like it's that beautiful fish out of water, man out of time show. That's why he still feels like an old school mafia coming in from like the 70s and 80s into this kind of new world. I know he was locked up in the 90s, but it's still kind of, you know, his heyday would have been like that kind of decade, which was the mafia decades. And he just brings it really, really well into the modern era. And I also like that they don't try to make him younger than what he is. He openly says he's 75 in the show. And I think that's kind of it's nice. It's a nice touch, keeping it as real as you can within the context of the show.
Yeah, I agree. So in this particular episode, old Dwight, he's basically having to reapply for a driving license, which was funny in its own right. I've seen the odd. I remember, like, something which flashed back to me was the, I think it was the Naked Gun or Naked Gun 2,
Yeah,
with the girl taking driving lessons
the
and stuff
first
like
one.
that. Was it the first one? Yeah. And we also get the character who doesn't even realize that Dwight doesn't even know that he's there, but he sees Dwight and thinks that Dwight's coming after him when he isn't. And because of
Yeah,
his paranoia, we see early on in this episode when Dwight's going for his driving lessons that he tries to take him out, and then we get a car chase scene, which felt a bit weird, but it was very funny. He was chasing him and stuff like that. Managed to get some of his info on him, and we kind of saw, like, other elements of him being a gangster. It's not just about, like, gangsters are very versatile characters. You know, very resourceful. That's the word I'm looking for. And he's almost like a detective, because once he finds the car that attacked him because he almost got shot, he's able to pinpoint exactly where this person worked and all of that. It was very suave techniques, and him pretending to be a private detective, but that girl figured him out because he had like leather shoes on, alligator shoes. I mean, fair enough. But yeah, there was all these elements of him, and also him being like having a heart of gold. Like his driver wants to be more involved in the business, but the mafia itself is a little bit racist to degree. They never really have
Yeah,
non-Italians in there, and him being black. I mean, he's not
yeah.
even fucking Mario Balotelli, mate. He will not fucking get
They
in
only
there.
they, they only have the black guys to take the fall, basically. That's it,
Yeah,
or they're little street level drug runners, and yeah. And he's trying to say to him, look, you could do what you can, but you'll never be made. It's not how it kind of works with these families and that. So I thought his partner, I forget that guy's name, um, the guy that drives him around.
Tyson.
I thought he was really good in this
Tyson.
episode as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyson trying to just prove that he's more than just a driver and all this kind of stuff. And he does have his little moments of frustration as well, trying to be like, look, don't fob me off. I'm okay with doing this. But then you also get like, the dad who overhears him, and he's just like, oh fucking hell, what's my son getting into, kind of stuff. So there's that kind of anticipation building up. There's again what you said about him being resourceful. So I did like the little detective mode that he goes into as well, because I'm also a sucker for a nice detective show. Which, by the way, Wednesday is a bit like that, and I recommend people watch that because it's a bit like that. It's like a detective show. But there's also the thing where in order to bring peace with the guy whose jaw he broke, he's got to get 100 grand, and then his brain straight away says like, oh, those nitrogen oxide,
Nitrogen.
nitrous oxide, yeah, balloons. They can raise a fair pop at a festival, and straight away it goes to the guy who can order the stuff without raising any eyebrows to set that up. And I just thought the way he's very quick how he works, and
Hmm.
yeah, it just adds another element to the character that I really enjoy. He's just like very quick witted, still sharp for his age, all this kind of stuff.
Well, I think we're going to see future antagonists as well, like these bikers, because we saw the FBI or
Hmm.
whatever that organization is raid this particular
ATF.
home, and the ATF, yeah, and we saw this redneck in his yard, and he's got all these dogs and shit, and he's got a fucking AR-15 or whatever, one of these fucking guns these Americans like to fucking salivate over, and he's been held in there, and then one of his mates come along and kind of like gives him some sort of code, I believe, like don't
Yeah.
get taken alive, basically in code. And so he lets his dogs out, blows his fucking barn up or his house up to smithereens. And I do feel that these people, like this biker gang, which he's a part of, they're definitely going to be the people that goes up against Manfredi and his future his future gang of his future mafioso, so to speak, because they're treading on
Future
their
antagonists.
territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're treading on their territory with the nitrogen. So they're gonna
Yeah.
feel it upset by that. Considering weed is now legal, so probably nitrogen is the route they're gonna go down now. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I definitely look forward to that. And the ATF lady as well, like she can't get enough of that pensioner dick. I mean, she wanted
She wanted
nothing
those
to
low
do with him
hanging balls
initially.
slapping against her.
Yeah, but then she like went another round with him, and she's totally in on him now, and he knows that. He knows that. I mean, he's a wise old fox, man. No, he's got his inside woman. What I mean, and
Yep.
she loves him. And
Yep.
yeah, and
Yep. He's
they
got an
shit.
inside woman. That's right. He's going to be privy to a lot of information, especially with the gang. So there's all these little
Yeah,
beautiful seeds that are being sown that you hope will come into play later.
yeah. Did you see like the snippet of next week's episode?
No. I don't do that. I always wait.
Okay, I didn't mean to, but once it started, I just watched it a little bit.
Don't
So
don't
unfortunately,
don't say anything.
I won't say anything to you, but I do know certain things to a degree. But wh- uh, in this episode as well, he kind of like intimidates his driving instructor. Like he pays him a visit in his hospital after their little thing where after the car chase they had, and he's got a bullet, he's got a wound and stuff, and he gives him 10 grand, but really he's paying him for information, which is the information he gets. Obviously, it's beautiful.
It was such a funny, like, yeah, the driving instructor was great during the whole thing was happening. He's like, I'm dying, I need to go to the hospital. Yeah, go on. Put your head down. He just carries on doing the
Yeah,
car
don't say
chasing. Then,
nothing.
yeah, don't say nothing. And then at the fucking the hospital, when he just pays him the money, he's just like, I need information, and the guy's
Dude.
like, oh, his
No,
face.
but he put the flowers in the fucking piss bottle.
You in the piss joke.
Laughing
Uh,
oh, that
that,
was just brilliant.
that was
Yeah,
brilliant.
just the way he did that as well. But you could
Yeah,
tell, like you could tell the driving instructor knew he was being intimidated to a degree, and then like once he got the information he needed, he told him never to call again. So hopefully that'll be the case.
yeah.
Um,
But
but
we got
like I
prior
said,
to that,
yeah,
we got a witty interrogation scene, which I found quite hilarious as well. The kind of back and forths and all this kind of thing. Yeah, must be an unpopular driving instructor. Maybe somebody had it out for him.
yeah. Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah,
But his paranoia also got to him as well because he genuinely thought that the mob was trying to kill him off. But the only reason why he lives is because he's a good earner, and that alone, in my opinion, keeps you alive. If
yeah,
you make money, if you make money in the mob, you can get away with a lot of shit. You know what I mean? If you're a good earner, you can break a capo's jaw, and you're too valuable to them to
yeah.
stop.
To kill off. Yeah,
To kill off because you're a good earner, and that really what it's all about. So I did like that. I'm not sure if some of the people in the mob will come back to haunt him at some particular point. What do you think about that in the future?
Um, I reckon. I reckon, like the guy who gets his money will still probably have a vendetta against him, and
Vinny,
yeah, huh?
Vinny, I think his name
Vinny.
is.
Okay, yeah, the guy
Yeah,
who had his
he's the
jaw
guy
broke.
from Boardwalk Empire.
Oh, I see. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, so I reckon he'll keep a vendetta against him, again, sowing the seeds for future enemies. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the guy because obviously later on he finds the guy that shot him, or tried to shoot him, and obviously the minute he sees the kid run out, it's a little bit
yeah, he's
cliched,
torn.
but then it's just like, fuck's sake, okay, what do I do here, kind of thing, and it kind of ended on that little cliffhanger, which was a good cliffhanger to end on because I was just like, no, one more for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
Mm.
but it already makes you realize that earlier in the earlier episodes that he is a man with family of his own, so you can see why he's torn. I don't know how he knew that was the guy who shot at him. How he was aware of that.
I
Did
have
you pick
no
up on that?
idea. Yeah, I have no idea how he found out it was him. Maybe once he saw him, he recognized him.
Yeah, but he was wearing a ski mask.
No, he just recognized him from the past, and then he's like, it must have been this guy. Like, what the fuck is
Ah,
he
yeah,
doing
yeah,
here? Maybe I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
guessing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was a lot going on in this episode, but it does go by very quickly. I would say this is maybe not
Mm.
the best of the 3 episodes so far. I think with all the chasing and stuff like that, but still, I, I, I did enjoy it. I just love seeing him, Manfredi, just being this, one step ahead of everyone and using his knowledge. I love the way he spoke about university and college. I loved his perspective
Yeah, that
on
was
that.
brilliant.
That's, that was brilliant. You know what I mean? I thought,
Absolutely
You know what?
brilliant. Yeah.
You got a good point there, mate. You really do.
It's
You
a
know,
very
like, it
good
doesn't matter what.
the writer
Yeah,
was fucking spot on with that.
yeah, I totally agree. Like, you go to college, so people who in employment know that you are capable of doing tasks and stuff like that. It's like, wow, I never really thought of it like that. But
Listen,
yeah, yeah,
coming from a guy who fucking went to university and came out, and I learned fuck all at university, but it was still the barrier that I needed to get into work, which I never fucking got into because of bubble burst at the time. That speech was just like fucking that hit home. I was like, yep, couldn't agree more. They just put you through just to make sure that you can fucking be part of the machine. You do your routine, you get into your tasks, you follow orders, and all this kind of shit, just so you can be part of the cog that keeps the capitalist wheel spinning. I just thought, what a brilliant that was just that's what cemented this episode for me. I do disagree with you only on that it wasn't as good as the other two. I liked it as much as the other two episodes, but that's literally just it. I just thought the comedy was really good in this one.
yeah. I mean, just like like the stoner elements in the previous episode was hilarious when he met that guy called Bad Face and he called him Fuck Face. I was like, I was in stitches, yeah, I mean, and stuff like that. And I'm not sure about you, but there's never really a show that has got me seriously hooked from the very beginning. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you need to watch something 2 or 3 episodes in. Something on a unique premises. Like Andor always had the fact that it was on Star Wars,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
that helped it. But this is like a whole new thing, whole new universe, everything, and you just starting from scratch. And I was like, I'm on board on this straight away. You know what I mean?
I can't say the same in the sense that I'm sure I have a massive list of shows that got me hooked really early on. So I really can't say, but I'm definitely with you in that it's got me hooked like right off the start, like first episode in, and I was hooked.
Yeah, exactly. So there's really not much more to say than that. You
No,
want to mark this? You want to mark this episode?
yeah, I give this episode a 9 out of 10. I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I give this episode. I personally give this episode an 8. I also thoroughly enjoyed it as well. And anyone who I mentioned in the past regarding Stallone, like some people mistake him being actually Rocky Balboa and being an idiot when he's not. He's actually a very intelligent guy, and he's written a lot of movies. He wrote the Rocky movies. He's directed films. All of that. He knows this industry inside out. He's a very, very good actor. That monologue he gave at the end of First Blood was superb. Whether
Mm.
people like First Blood or not, that monologue was absolutely fantastic. He's never really been. He kind of got shoehorned in being an action star after that, and it was very hard for him to get out. And he's picked some bad roles as well, like Oscar and stuff like that, and even
Yeah,
Get Carter.
Oscar, Stop or My Mum Will Shoot. I
Yeah,
know I enjoyed it, but I understand the criticism of it
yeah,
and some other films here and there that he picked where he tried to do like romantic comedies and all this
Paradise
kind of
Alley.
stuff.
Yeah,
Paradise Alley, all this, and
yeah,
it didn't work out, but it wasn't his fault. It was just the films weren't very good
yeah.
at the time. But he built up a bit of notoriety then of interfering uh, with stuff, so he's obviously gotten a lot better with it now. Um, and that,
He was
oh,
a
he's gotten,
goalkeeper, mate. He was
huh?
a goalkeeper in Escape for Victory. I mean, that for me is one of my favorite roles. Like superb playing
Yeah,
with Pele and John Hark and
yeah,
Ozzy
that was a great film.
Ardiles.
That,
And, I
yeah,
mean, just like it's got a great movie. I love it against the Nazis, man. I mean, his legacy is, and even recently, like I did say that I think some of his recent film career has not been that great, but he has been in Creed, which is like obviously revitalizing the character of Rocky Balboa, but still that's some of his more recent work. Um, I found Last Blood to be fucking awful, but nevertheless,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and all
I
of that.
mean,
Yeah,
I want him to just break away from those kind of things. Actually, again, when I say Creed 3, again, he was kind of taken off of that because I think he was trying to interfere too much in the story. It was trying to take it away from Michael B. Jordan's kind of character. I think there was that was conflict there. so that he still has that diva element in him. But
Yeah,
when
yeah,
he
yeah.
when he lets others just fucking carry on and do the thing, it's really like, he's great. You can tell he's a lot more relaxed doing it. He's not trying to run everything. That's where the Expendables was like a victim of its own success, because in the end, him and the studios like butted heads over the PG thing, and Expendables 3 was absolutely abysmal. The second
You
one
got
was,
yeah.
uh,
You got a villain like Mel Gibson, and you waste it like that. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah.
yeah,
Is
it
it?
was a tragedy. It was an absolute tragedy what happened to the Expendables. But I don't know. I blame more the studios in that regard. But just seeing him in this, I really hope that he does come back for another series, even if it's just one more series and they wrap everything up. Maybe give it a couple extra episodes, and that I'll be happy with that, because I really don't want him to stop making this show, because it's
Yeah.
not Rocky, it's not Rambo, it's something nice and different. It's Stallone doing something different, but this time it works.
Finally
And
playing a gangster role that works. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
He's done the gangster genre before, but this has really worked. You
Yeah,
know,
this
and
really works, and I want to see
yeah.
more.
I just like the way he's just so different to he's always like like Rocky and Rambo. They're timid characters. You know what I mean? This guy is far from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's very outgoing. He's very like he'll come up to you and approach you and talk to you and boss you around. I mean, not since Death Race 2000. Remember that one? He's in that
oh
where he
my
plays
god, yeah,
Frankenstein. Yeah, like is he really like showing so much character?
yeah.
And I love that film by the way, where he played Frankenstein in that movie. That's before he became famous, but he was a bad guy in that as well, by the
I
way.
can't
So
remember that film.
yeah, he's in
I have to
the
go back
original
and
with
watch it.
David Carradine and him. You know what I
Oh
mean?
right,
So but
yeah,
yeah, um, anyways,
yeah.
all right. So
All right, that's it.
Tulsa King. I hope you guys have seen it as well, and don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think of this particular episode. And then join us this Wednesday where we'll be talking about Willow, first episode of this new show.
Mm.
Can't wait for that. All right, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube. Thank you, Ginger. And I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.
Bye.